Hi everybody, I'm David here, and welcome to the next episode of the Dugout Crew, episode number 7. We got the full gang here with us. Welcome back, Jesse. And we also have Eric Remo,
Hello.
Jason DeCanio,
What's up?
and Joey Casey.
Hello, folks.
And yes, I got his name right this time. Anyway.
Yeah, finally.
Like the manager and rookie of the year.
Life, man. You finally got something right in your life. Yes.
Boom!
Well, I've done things right before, you know.
Well, he's batting 250 instead of 1,000.
1,000 isn't.
Well, you'd be a major league hitter. That's what they're normally hitting now.
Well, it really depends, but how are you guys doing today?
Could be better, man. Could be better.
Doing better.
Your team's still over 500. I think.
No. We just are now 500. We got shut out. The Tigers swept us. I don't want to hear any freaking, oh, you guys went in there and got clobbered by a. Let me tell you something. Right now. This is inexcusable the way the Mets have played the last 3 games going into that stadium. No excuses. No.
They're not. They still have a lot of season ahead of them. The A's.
Your Athletics are playing a hell of a lot better than our last 3 games.
I was keeping an eye on that game 2 nights ago. They had a no-hitter through 7 innings. That is their young rookie 3rd prospect in their system, throwing a no-hitter through 7 innings, through exactly 100 pitches. They made the right move to take him out. Next inning, left-handed pitcher. Boom! There goes the no-hitter and the shutout. They go on to lose that game. Last night, they're up 2-0. They give up a run. Acevedo gets taken out. They bring in Mole. Mole keeps it tied. They go to the 9th inning. Jackson gives up a home run to guess who? The 125 hitting A.J. Pollock to tie the game. They go to extras. Adam Mahler gives up a 3-run homer to Suarez. End of story. They lose 7-2. So, yeah, no. The A's last 2 games, they're sputtering worse than your car in the morning when it's cold there.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys to be on the bottom, but we was over 500 3 days ago, and thanks to that Mother Nature of rain delays and double headers that literally kicked our butts to the curb. I can honestly say, and even Wardy last night, he was livid. I never saw a man curse so much on a YouTube channel than Wardy last night. You had to watch his podcast to go and lose 6.
Play in the private chat. Put in private chat. The YouTube channel that you watch.
Oh, I will send it. I'll give it to you, and then you can put it in. You can put it in the description later.
I know one thing for sure. There was an umpire moment too that I saw recently. The umpire was the Rays and the Pirates. I forget who the umpire was, but it was about the pitch timer. He takes off his mask and he says, "I'll reset and run the fucking clock when I fucking feel like it." And he puts his mask back on. It's just like, Jesus Christ, calm down. If you're starting to run the clock too soon, you're giving the other team. This is where the freaking pitch clock was going to come. Let's see.
And literally ruin it.
Yeah.
Buddy.
31 games into the season, and there's already been more. And it's not even the Mets that lead the league in it anymore. Everyone's sick and tired of the pitch clock, but they know the rules by now. 8 seconds. You got to have your head cocked, turned, ready to bat.
Yep.
Because if you don't, the pitchers get it, and they get the 0. Oh, that reminds me. The Mets had Verlander pitching his first game of the season today.
Yeah, he went for 5 innings today and 5 strikeouts, but I don't know, man. These guys are just pitching fury. Like, they have no energy. And Scherzer got lit up last night too. So the starters, I mean, yeah, he's gonna have a bad game and everything, but I think he came back too soon, early.
Honestly, he probably did. The Mets are still there. The Mets starting pitchers at least have wins. The A's have set a major league record. They could have had a win last night for a starter and the night before. They've now gone 30, 31 games without a starter with a win. 31 games, not a single win.
Guess what, Joey? Bryce Harper came back from tummy tunnel surgery before any of you had a starting pitcher win the game for the A's.
I know, and that's not even a burn at this point. It's the truth. The A's.
Yep.
And I told the other three what you haven't heard yet. The A's have the same record through 31 games as that 2003 Tigers team that won just 43 games. 6-25. Yep. So that means the rest of the way they'd have to go 37 and 88. 37 and 88 to match that team. And I really hope that's not what's going to happen. But when your team is losing or has a lead and they're not they were cheering, let's go Oakland, but MLB's blurring out sell the team. It's just like, don't go saying don't go taking away free speech all of a sudden when you just said, oh yeah, we're selling the team, whether you guys like it or not. The attendance has been terrible, and it's just like, okay, what about the Rays? They've been having terrible attendance for years. Why are they moving? They were going to go to Montreal and play half their games there.
Is it because they win all the goddamn time, especially at home?
Well, how do I put this? If the Mets, the Astros, or the Red Sox just tore everything down, went bare bones with what the A's have, would fans still come out? Because I don't remember the last time the Mets have lost 100 games. Last time they probably lost 100 games was 1962. They went 40 and 120, and Casey Stengel was the poor manager at the time.
They went 59 and 103 in 93.
Well, that was the year the Phillies and the Braves were fighting each other, and so were the Giants.
We were talking about this last week because I made the mistake. I thought they lost 108 games. It was 59 and 103, and they just had probably one of the second worst seasons of their time as a team.
That's not bad for a 61-year-old team either.
No, but you're talking the 90s was just the pinnacle of the early 90s, not the late 90s, because by the late 90s, they had a solid team going up against the Yankees and anyone else that was deciding to challenge them, because once Ricky Henderson took over over the team, I think he was really doing a great job.
Oh, he was fantastic. He played anywhere he played.
Yeah.
Seattle, Anaheim, the Dodgers, even in Boston for the short time he was there. He played for more teams than there were probably around during those times.
Yeah.
He was that spark plug. He had the style and everything. He used to do this. He'd pump out his shirt. He would end up in the away team dugout on home runs.
I'm sorry, it wasn't Ricky Henderson. It was Willie Randolph. That's it. Willie Randolph is the one that took us to the 99-2000s World Series. We had the champions. We had that. But Ricky Henderson was on that team.
Yes, that was the team that it was right around that time, because Henderson left in 2000 to go play for the Mariners, who had John Olerud, who played for the Mets too. And there's a funny story about that, actually. He said, because when he was with Toronto, because he was on so many World Series teams.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, he goes up to John Olerud and he says, hey, I played with a guy who wore a helmet just like you in Toronto. He says, Ricky, that was me. Because he used to be a pitcher. When John Olerud was a pitcher, he had to wear the helmet because of a brain aneurysm.
Yeah.
So he started wearing the batting helmet in the field. He was the only player to ever do that. Phenomenal hitter on base.
That's why John Olerud wore the helmet on the field. Okay.
Yeah, brain aneurysm.
Okay. I thought I thought he had some kind of a safety feature or something to protect his head.
Well, not all of us can wear the helmet on the field. I think I'd have to wear the helmet on the field because Eric's just like, stop talking and get to the point. and then just the final one's just like, you missed. Boom.
Yeah. Nah, you missed. Oh yeah. Boom. Oh. It's like the Three Stooges, you know.
Missed the egg.
No
stance.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a coincidence.
So since we last talked, I met Lumoni for actually the third time. I'm gonna make a post about how I met him, which I met him back in 2004, 2020, and now last week.
Yeah.
I have a curious question for all of you. Did you meet any baseball players?
I met one. The Red Sox had a signing. Oh man, it was back in the day. It was in the 90s. I went to Butwood Park and they had, I met a couple of coaches. That Rack Slider, Al Bunbury, who used to be coaches for the Red Sox. Bunbury used to play for the Orioles. Dana Kicker was one of the pitchers I met. He used to play for the Red Sox. I said, hope you guys beat Oakland because they were playing Oakland at the time. He said, I hope you guys take a 3 out of 4. He said, we go 4 for 4. Before I was watching all 4 games against Oakland. They swept Oakland in that series 4 all. So, yeah, Dana Kicker was one of the Red Sox players I met, and a couple of coaches, and that's about it.
What about you, Joey?
At my first job, you two would actually die for this experience. I met Uke.
Really?
Yeah. Hell of a guy. This was before he was a special assistant to the Cubs. Because I met him because he's I think he was dating Brady's sister or something.
I think he's married Brady's sister.
Yeah. And I ended up getting his autograph. I don't have it anymore, but very nice man, very kind man. And he has that hair like I do on my chin, but it's not like
he's now an announcer.
Yeah, no, he has that big old chin and the big old hairball like this. Looks like he's shaking his ass at the pitcher.
Yeah.
Is he a Greek kid? Is he a Greek kid? No, I think he's Jewish. Oh, that's right. Lenny Clark. That was the funniest when they were playing a game against the Tigers. I think it was 2006. Dennis Leary and Lenny Clark joined Don Orsillo, who was the announcer at the time, and Jerry Remy, God rest his soul, was the announcer at the time. And Euclid was, I think Euclid was in the field and all that, and Mike Lowell did a nice grab and everything else. And I remember, Euclid, you would think that would be a Greek name. So that's why Dennis Leary asked him, "Is he a Greek kid? Is he a Greek kid?" I don't think so. I don't think he's Jewish. Oh, that's right. They were going off on Mel Gibson. I'll send you the link, Joey, because it's the funniest. It was one. You talk about the pizza thing being funny. Lenny Clark and Dennis Leary. And Dennis Leary.
He was the Greek god of walks. That was his nickname when he was in the minors.
Yeah. Now
because the A's wanted him. That was in Moneyball. The A's wanted him, but they couldn't get him because he was in Boston, and you couldn't trade for him because he was that golden goose to the Red Sox, and of course he wins 2 championships with them.
Yeah.
And they
called he's the announcer for Nissan.
Yeah, he's an announcer now too.
Yeah.
But they called and Prince Fielder had a great career, even though he had this neck surgery and everything. But in the book, they said he's too fat for even us to draft. That's what they said.
Wow.
The guy had 18 stolen bases at close to 300 pounds. Just one time. And I know Jason would get a kick out of this. Let Vogelback steal second base.
Right, man.
I know. We'd probably be doing this podcast, and Jason's just like, wait, he's going. Oh, he's out.
Hooray for fat dudes, man. All those fat dudes should tell.
Cologne.
There you go. Fat dudes need to start stealing the bases more often.
That is my favorite part, too, because I bet one of my coworkers at the time, I said, Bartolo Colon's I'm either going to quit this job or Bartolo Colon's going to hit a home run. I quit that job a
you
year and a half after he hit the home run. Bartolo Colon, and now I'm like, well, I'll quit my job before he ever steals a base. And of course, I quit the year before he retires. So
Bartolo
that would have been the funniest thing, though. You just see Bartolo Colon trying to hustle into second base. He's still carrying the bat.
He's got
Did you met any A's players? Did you met any A's players?
I've never. I take that back. Actually, I met when my dad was still alive. It was I think it was 2009. One of the last few games him and I went to while he was still able to semi-walk proper. Him and I went to an A's root beer float day, which means I don't think they've done it for the last 3 years, though. The last 3-4 years. You used to be able to get a root beer float. You'd be able to meet guys like Dennis Eckersley, Rookie Henderson, all those guys. And they would scoop ice cream for you and they'd be like, here you go, kid. And a little thing of root beer. You get David running around bases like Ricky Henderson.
Oh God!
There you go.
You got John Madden and his castellator. Wow, here's a kid. He got this. And he goes around like this, and then he catches the ball, and and that's a touchdown. Brett Favre.
Anybody ever can pull off a John Madden better than any of us can.
I love the fact that he's just one of the. I know we're going off a little bit off topic, but my favorite one is there's a mommy bucket and a daddy bucket, and since they've been together, they had a child, and that's why there's a baby bucket.
Yeah,
and then Pat Summerall says, "Well, I guess we now know that they're married."
Pat Summerall.
I'm a bucket.
What about you, Chester? Haven't met any baseball players, Chester?
Well, not really. San Antonio's not really a baseball city, unless you count our minor league team.
Yeah.
I did meet Will Purdue though one time, the former Chicago Bull and San Antonio Spurs center. Dude was tall. He was tall as,
That's intimidating, isn't it? When you get those basketball players.
Yeah.
Because I've never met a basketball player, but I played with a guy in high school, 6'10". I played center briefly. Imagine the fact that his knee is almost up my ass. And
That's good.
And it's just like he's about ready to whisper the snap count in my ear, and I'm like, "Don't do that.
Yep.
Not too close."
Yeah.
But he had to almost have it. He was so tall, he had to squat down, and this man, just ginger red hair, fiery red hair. If David had stood next to him, he would have come up to one of his thighs. You know what 6'10" looks like, don't you, David? That's a big man. You're 5. I'll give you a couple inches.
5'3".
I'll say 5'3". So you're 5'3",
yep.
6'10". That's 1.5 foot difference. You would be looking up and be like, "Wow."
No.
The tallest person I met in my life was 6'7".
Well, for me, it was Chris Sale.
I know, but I think Chris Sale's like what, 6'5", 6'6", weighs 155 pounds. He made Pedro Martinez when he first debuted look like a supermodel. They used to say a strong breeze could blow him off the mound.
Wow. What about me?
What about you?
I was at a spring training game. Oh, let's see, about 7 years ago, I think. Yeah, 6-7 years ago, and we're waiting outside of Tradition Field for the game to start, the Mets game. And here coming walking down the corridor is Ron Darling, and I got a handshake and I got a high five, and I was like, "Go Ronnie, thank you, 86." And I said to myself, "I'm never washing this hand again." And that was a great experience because he was heading to the booth to go do the game with the other guys at SN. So the SNY, he was like coming from this way. He was coming from the left side, and then he was going that way.
Make sure you don't spit on Hernandez, though. If you get that joke, I would understand. Because just like that's an old Seinfeld reference. Kramer and Newman. It's just like, well, you said the spit came from over here. I think they pretty much word for word tried to make it like the Kennedy assassination, where it's just like you said the spit went from here to here to here, and it somehow hit you in the eye, hit Newman in the forehead, and you both went down.
Two
I
other
remember
occasions.
that episode.
Two other occasions I met some athletes that were not baseball, but we were working out over at Valencia, and I guess the Magic have their training camp over there, or they work out. Two of the guys that was on the Magic that time, let's see, that would have been what, 2000, 2001, would have been Horace Grant and Sean Bradley.
Wow,
Oh, Tom Bradley's like 7'6", dude.
He's 7'6".
He's 7'6". He is a sucker who almost hit the ceiling from what I see. Horace Grant in the back. So Sean Bradley comes up. He looks at my old New Jersey Nets bag, and he goes, "I played for that team one time." I said, "Yeah, I remember when you did."
You had to crank your neck to talk to him. Hello.
Because he's like, yeah.
Did you need WD-40 for your neck looking up that high?
I don't know, man. I got a creak in it for 4 days or something, just looking up.
Because you got to meet Horace Grant, who was part of all those Bulls teams who won the championships. That is amazing. You got to meet
that is.
He would still talk about that because, he was playing with the Magic toward the latter of his career, and that's who he was with at the time that I saw the two of them. And then the other time that I was there, when I was at a Magic game, and I saw Jack the Goose Givens before he got canned with the Magic television network. So, but he's a cool guy, Jack Givens, the Goose as they call him.
Reminds me of Saragusa, Big Tony Saragusa.
Did you ever meet him?
Oh, got it. I was gonna he passed away, but I always wanted to ask him, did you really fall on Gannon with all 345 pounds of your weight? Because he ended up injuring Rich Gannon in the Ravens Super Bowl run. Because he went like this. He literally went, famous last words. It hurt. You a big man.
Alrighty, let's get to the news here right here, starting with Tony needed a home run to complete the cycle as the first pitcher ever to do it, Major League Baseball history, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, that was the other day.
Otani.
Yep. Better than Babe Ruth, as some people would say.
Don't start that debate. Don't start that debate, David.
Well,
that's like saying Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball.
Hey, look, if you've got mashed potatoes and peas on your plate, you better finish your peas, buddy. You know?
Yeah, finish your veggies, bud.
That's right. No putting ketchup on them either.
oh, God.
That's what my mother used to tell me. In order to get my green beans, I had to put ketchup on them to eat them.
Well, that's that old famous line. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? You can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat.
Yeah.
Rays will open portions of the 300 level at the Trop for Great Games versus the Yankees. First time since the 2018 regular season they closed it. MLB has told the Braves they can no longer use the oversized baseball cap for celebrations after the league heard complaints from the New Era, the manufacturer of the official field cap. Well, rest in peace. Jacob deGrom on the 15-day IL with the right elbow inflammation. Well, Jacob deGrom goes down again, which not surprising. He does that every single season. He goes down with certain injury, and people blame the Mets for that. Well, he's doing that in Texas. Percent. Pirates are the first NL team to reach 20 seasons this season. Who would have thought?
20
in spring
seasons?
training that
That's a lot of
20
cayenne
no,
pepper, man.
that's not but I meant the first NL team to reach 20 wins
Thank you
this
very much.
season. Who would have thought back in spring training that the first NL team, the Pirates, this season will reach 20 wins? This is crazy.
Well, Captain Morgan be very happy about that, you know? Get the bottle of rum, mateys. Yay, yo, ho, 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 and a pirate's life for me. Hi, hi.
Raise it.
Rum for me today, thank you.
None for you today? You're not drinking?
No, I learned my lesson when before I was of legal age. I ended up having a couple shots of Captain Morgan, and let's just say the ship hit the deck, matey.
Yeah.
Taylor Romeo in first at bat with Seattle of the year hit a grand slam versus Toronto.
A
That's
grand
incredible
salami.
right there. Yep.
Yum.
Rockies and Astros will play in the 2024 Mexico Series next year. We'll see how many home runs will hit this time after what happened with the Padres Giants.
No trash can required.
Yeah. 100%.
Sorry, Jesse.
Sorry, Jesse Raphael. Yes. No, that's Sally.
This past Tuesday, Bryce Harper is back with the Phillies after having Tommy John surgery. Riker Pace is back with the Phillies this past Tuesday versus the Dodgers. And it's pretty incredible what he's able to do coming back after Tommy John after the World Series. And the Red Sox will be playing him this Friday in Philly. Aaron Judge is now on the 10-day AIL.
Uh-oh.
Well, we gotta get the Judge for that one. The St. Louis Cardinals' worst start to franchise history, 10-19.
10-21
Sorry,
now.
10-21.
As of today, if you want to count standings, 10-21, worst start, 9.5 back of the Jolly Rogers,
which is impressive because I don't remember the last. It's been a decade since the Pirates were this good.
Yeah, probably because Andrew McCutchen came back and turned the team right over from the.
He was the MVP, I think, in 2013.
Yes, he was.
MVP. Wow. I was in high school when that happened 10 years ago.
Yeah. And by the way, sorry, Danny, about your Cardinals. I guess you have to root for Cleveland now, Danny. Just saying.
He can't call himself Danny. He can't call himself Danny St. Louis anymore. He'd have to call himself Danny St. Cleveland.
Better yet, Danny St. Elsewhere. You can't call him St. Louis. You can't call him St. Cleveland. You call him St. Elsewhere.
Yes.
Yep. And now we'll have a tribute to St. Elsewhere.
Come to find out that the whole thing was in a snow globe.
Snow globe. Oh my! That would be trippy. That really would be.
Well, that was what the whole story was. I read somewhere that the whole thing ended up in the snow globe. The whole story, I think.
Well, that's like Newhart and how Bob Newhart woke up from a dream and he dreamt that entire series.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Larry. He's my brother Daryl. He's my other brother Daryl. Okay.
Yeah.
Ronald Acuna Jr. is day to day after what is that?
Better watch the copyright.
We gotta get technical. I know we're gonna probably get zapped for copyright on that one. You can edit that one out, David.
God, you guys are killing me today with the laughs. I need another drink.
Hey, you are what makes this podcast there, Joey. I was not going to come in today because of the fact that the Mets are playing so bad, but you know how to just take the bright spot, right? The dullness out of it and just make a bright spot. So,
well, David, you may want to bleep out the next few words then.
No,
Ronald
No.
Acuna Jr. is day today after further imaging revealed no fracture, but he seems to be back up on with the Braves, so it's not too serious as people thought when he got hit the other day.
Oh, Acuna
Luis
Jr.
Garcia,
That poor kid gets hit more times than anything else, man.
yeah, it's
That's
unfortunate.
actually close to the truth because Esteury Ruiz has been hit by a pitch 9 times for the A's, and I think Acuna's up there with the top 10 for the Braves.
Not just for this season, but for ever since remember the Marlins had a little issue with him, the Braves and Marlins.
2020, I remember that. That's
Yeah.
hard to believe that he's been in the league since 2018. He's in his 6th year already.
Yeah. 2020. No, I think we'll go 2019. I think when we actually had a crowd.
No, he's been around since 18.
Yeah, that's what I'm
2018.
I'm trying to say
When the Braves,
Marlins Braves when they had to hold that whole issue. I think it was 2019 when the crowd.
Yeah, it bled over, unfortunately.
Yeah.
he's been with
I
the
think we
Braves
should.
since he's been with the Braves since the new stadium opened for them, 2018.
Well, I don't know why they got rid of Turner. I know we're supposed to be talking about the news, but I never understood why they got rid of Turner Field. That was a beautiful
I'm not sure
stadium.
either.
This is a baseball podcast. We're going to say we talk baseball.
I mean, David
sure
just
why
said
they
the
did
other
that,
day,
but-
this is a football podcast, not a baseball podcast.
See,
No.
welcome to Let's Talk Football here, That ain't even that.
Bryce,
You know.
Bryce Miller with 10 strikeouts and no walks until an MLB debut with the A's, no hitter through 7, and the rest is history with that game. Joey can
Yeah,
explain that later.
Joey just
with
pretty
Bryce
much gave
Miller.
him a downward donut after that, pretty much.
7 innings, no hit baseball. They bring in Richard Lovelady, and luck wasn't a lady that night because A.J. Pollock tied the game in the 8th inning with a home run.
That's right.
That's a hell of a way to lose a no-hitter.
Yep. In
It's
other
just
words,
like-
you take what he said at the top of the show, edit into this, and you've got a long 5-minute segment. There you go.
I know, but there's a difference. I don't sound like I don't know what to talk about. I'm sorry.
I know what you're talking about because I got a stiffy nose. There you go.
Which is funny because my window stays closed on days like this because it's been raining pretty good on and off the last couple days. And all you hear is every other word. It would sound like someone tickled my nose with a feather.
Oh, God.
It's been like that over here in Massachusetts, definitely.
Yeah, there you go.
Here in the South Coast of Massachusetts. I mean, it's been raining a
I'm
lot.
surprised it's not snowing in Massachusetts, even though it's May.
Don't go there. Do not go
No,
there.
don't
Do
no.
not go there,
Your
Joey.
worst nightmare is the S word. Don't ever say the S word on
Not.
anything.
No.
I'm sorry, but I could just imagine
If it
this.
snows, if it snows
was pretty
this
cold.
month
It was
out of
big.
nowhere, I'm blaming you for that.
Yeah, one of the Red Sox goes to slide into second base. He's covered by a blanket of snow. It's
Don't
just
even
like,
think
well,
about
it's
it.
Santa
from
Claus
fire.
has showed his face this early. Oh my goodness!
No.
And it's not even 4th of July yet.
But it is the coldest. It was the coldest day today. The high was 48.
Huh.
We had 59 this
Yeah.
morning. I walked out of my house in shorts and I was like, "Ooh, what a chill!" And then it went right up to 83 degrees 4 hours later.
Wear a winter jacket. I didn't wear a winter jacket. I wore my hoodie and all that outside working, but it was like raining on. It was like little sprinkles and mists of rain. It wasn't a big deal, but still, it was pretty cold.
Well, you can't wish
Me
for
and Ken-
hail in that type of weather either.
It was not cold enough to snow, but it was pretty cold. It wasn't super cold. But whatever. So yeah, I usually open up the shades here when the sun's out. And whatever.
Liam Hendricks has met with the media for the first time since his cancer battle that he's beaten, and he had a shirt on that says "struck out cancer."
And
So
the phone
that's
went
very
off
good,
again.
We're just gonna make
That
Gary
was his rookie
Sanchez.
calling him, saying, "Hey, now, what are you doing?"
No, that's actually
Gary
the
Sanchez.
we get a notification indicator.
Gary Sanchez
Gary Sanchez. What about him?
yeah,
has
the
upped
Twins
how
don't want him
his
anymore. The Giants got him.
Oh,
well, actually, he's now opted out of his Chinese minor league deal after they didn't add him to the roster by the May 1st deadline.
Yeah, no,
So
you
we'll
gotta
see what
add
he'll
guys
get
like that by May 1st because a lot of those players, they think they're too good to be in the minors anymore. But Jed Lowry, just last year, the A's sent him down to the minors, and he played majority of his games down there. And he said after a while, "Just release me. I don't want to be down here anymore. I'm too old for this."
please release me! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Let's ask. We can take Gary Sanchez. Hey, we need a good catcher just in case.
You guys need a wing and a prayer on every player you take in. Let's put it this way. Same with the Mets. We're not.
Connor Wong has been. Connor Wong has been pretty good.
Yeah, especially on offense, man. I'll tell you what. A couple of home runs. Connor Wong, I'll tell you.
Has there ever been a team that has exhausted its entire AAA lineup before the trade deadline if they were that bad?
The A's.
I was going to say us this year because it looks like we're pulling up everybody from the minor leagues too, just to cover everybody else's injuries.
The Cardinals and Angels just finished their series today or yesterday, and actually today, yeah. And for the first time ever, they didn't have Pujols in the lineup.
Really? Oh.
Yep.
You mean to tell me that dude is still playing?
He's retired.
Yeah.
So that's why. Yep. So the first time ever, since, Pujols started his career, the Cardinals and Angels never had him in the lineup when they played each other. So pretty interesting.
I think we ought to just nab him out of retirement, give him a minimum contract to sign, and make him just DH because I guarantee you Pujols can still hit the home run. We need all the help we can get.
Yeah, he figured out something.
He wants to come back from retirement already?
No, but I'm saying we'll pull him out of the Mets will pull him out of retirement, and we'll get him the DH because right now Vogelback ain't doing crap.
You know who you guys should get? Because I just saw somebody talking about it the other day. Daniel Murphy's with the Long Island Ducks.
Quack.
I'm telling you, as much as I hate Daniel Murphy when he left to go play with the Washington Nationals, he's a hell of a hitter. I'll give him that. But I don't think the Mets fans would appreciate a scumbag who traded him out and played so bad in the World Series who come back like 8-9 years later. I don't know if the Mets fans would be appreciative of the fact that this guy, considering the fact that he left us flat to go.
He got you guys there. That's the way
He did. I will give him that. But the way he just decided to badmouth us and to literally just take us to school when he was with Washington after he left and show us that, this guy, really? I'm like, I don't know if they'd be appreciative of that. Mets fans don't forget these things,
Like the old elephant memory. Mind of an elephant.
Same thing.
And finally, Chelsea Winker is wearing his necklace custom made by his daughter. Pretty cool.
Isn't that nice? Do we have a picture of that?
Yeah, that's a good dad.
Yeah, man.
Let me see if I can.
How much has he spent on his daughter now? Like $250,000?
Let me see.
I tell you what, I tell you, everything that David said in these headlines today, I've kind of poked fun at, only because I'm trying to get a good laugh out of it. For these news headlines here, some of this stuff is like, whoa. Ooh, look at that, man. Holy cow. He's sporting the gold now. Woo.
Well, it's better than Peterson's pearls that he was wearing when he was playing for the Braves.
He was actually wearing girly pearls?
Yeah, he was wearing pearls, and he helped them get them to the World Series a couple years ago.
Well, they always say that those oysters have great mother of pearls, you know?
Yeah, but now Peterson's fat, out of shape, and playing for the Giants.
I knew the loophole. You knew it was coming, right, Chester?
Yeah.
Only take
All right, let's go to
a hot one, you know?
let's go to the news right here. I mean the reports. Now let's go to Joey.
Oh,
Well,
God.
of course, I turn on the game. They were down. They were up 1-0. They were down 2-1. They made it 3-2. Now then it was 3-3, and now it's 5-3 Seattle. Because another game they had won is now gonna get even uglier.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, they've got somebody up in the bullpen. I don't think they said who, but Drew Rosinski, another guy who pitched in the majors and now is coming back from overseas. Another terrible pitcher. They moved Fujinami to the bullpen. They brought up Luis Medina. They sent down James Caprillion. So, yeah, no, they're doing nothing, if not everything, to try and get these new kids up here. But Mason Miller the other night with 7 no-hit innings, not bad. JP Sears the other night had a great start. And the start before that, he struck out 11 against Texas. So, yeah, no, the A's have good pieces. It's just that when their offense works, their bullpen blows like a vacuum.
Wow.
Well, sucks like a vacuum. They have
Sucks
the
like a
worst bullpen in the league.
Yeah,
They've gone 31. They've had 31 They've had 31 games where their starters have pitched. Not a single win from a starter. That's a major league record for a calendar month. They went the entire month of April. Now we're on May 4th. That's 31 days in a row. 31 games out of not a single win for their starters. And they just got another walk. So, yeah, no. Seattle. Hey, Kotze, why don't you come get him when he gave up the freaking 2-run single earlier, you idiot? Jesus Christ. You finally bring the schmuck in from the bullpen, and now, oh my God.
Well, at least we're not seeing you on cam with this expression. We don't know what you're feeling.
No, I got my hands over my face and everything. It's a frustrating experience because I know the Red Sox were bad for a brief period of time when Bobby Valentine was their manager.
Oh God.
Oh God.
And the Astros had their time, but yeah, no, there's no way to describe how Pedroia was the best player they had, and he stuck out all those years, even though Ellsbury should have stayed with the Red Sox, and then he went to the Yankees and did nothing of note. But yeah, no, that's the news. That's the news for me. The A's continue to roll themselves into the ground. John Fisher and Dave Kaval, nowhere to be found. They're probably in Vegas somewhere, flirting with some women and flaunting their wealth.
Oh God.
Hey, flirting with some women I can understand. The rest of it, I don't know what they're doing, man.
The A's are the 5th most profitable. I want to scream the F word, but I want to make David work.
Don't worry. We're already making working today, so there you go.
Hell, man.
I knew it. He was gonna do that. Just let it out, man. That's all you gotta do.
It's insanity that this team is so bad. They're gonna be 6-26 after today, unless they somehow, by some miracle, get out of this bases loaded jam again. They're averaging 3,000 people. That game last Sunday against the Reds, they had 18,000 people. How, I don't know. But it's just like the fact of the matter is they've had 2 good games in attendance-wise over this season. Opening day, they had 27,000 fans. Last Sunday, they had 18,000 for Little League Day. And I guarantee that reverse boycott is not going to do a damn thing because they've already pulled out with negotiations for the stadium. Besides, I hate to say it, but the place was a lot better before they started renovating it. That's probably why there's possums in the ceiling and rats in the dugout. and those
Possums
chainsaw
in the
back up into
ceiling.
the dugout.
Well, there you go with the possums, man. Good night.
Oh, so they call a guy up. Why didn't they? Why? Why do you have these punch and Judy hitters, these miserable pitchers who don't know how to find the freaking strike zone? You bring up a guy from AAA Las Vegas who pitched fine last season. He pitched in a doubleheader, and he started, and he threw 5 no-hit innings. Why do you give Fran Riordan all this talent and not give them any? For Christ's sake, man. That's all for me. I'll pass it on to whoever's next now.
Wait,
Thank God,
the
man.
A's AAA team are in Vegas too?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I had my cam off the entire time because I don't need. No one needs to see what's going on behind this camera. No one needs to see this. My facials alone would get us banned on YouTube. It's just like,
well, that's gonna be interesting when the Oakland A's move to Vegas. There's gonna be both the Major League.
They're going to share the stadium with their AAA team. That's what they were saying. But that only 12,500 people. So it's just like, oh yeah, come out and watch us play. You can't even fill a third of the stadium, you dumb mother.
Don't want to beat.
All right, Chester, your turn.
So the Astros injury woes continue to happen as they lost Urquidy and Luis Garcia. So,
yep.
Luis Garcia placed on a 15-day IL, and they called up Matt Gage from the Sugarland, and Jose Urquidy is out, and they're bringing in Brandon Bielak from the AAA Sugarland. And good news, Jose Altuve begins his baseball activities. He's practicing with the team, and he's way ahead of schedule. But they still don't know if they have a firm timetable on his injuries yet.
Imagine if he took steroids to come back.
Oh,
that would be right up everybody's Yahoo, you know.
Yeah. Sorry to point that out, but it's true. I mean, look what happened with Fernando Tatis Jr. coming back from injury bugs from him and took steroids, got suspended. Could be the same thing with Jose Altuve. Coming back from injury, steroids. Who knows?
Or human growth hormone.
Human growth hormone, HGH. Yeah.
Yep.
That'll be the day that he starts scucking that stuff with the needles.
Yeah. And I continue.
So, Chas McCormick's still out. We don't know when he's supposed to return on the 8th or the 9th. First, he had his eye, something wrong with his eye, then his back. What more is this guy going to complain about? And then Michael Brantley should be coming back on the 8th or the 9th of this month. It's amazing how the Astros are still rolling despite the injury woes and the struggles.
Who the hell belched, man? Joey's giving us this.
Good God, man. See your doctor.
But Chester, your Astros are one game over 500, man. That's pretty good for 31 games, you know?
Yeah. They got a decent platoon, and they keep getting decent prospects from the draft. Hopefully we can find a good first baseman to replace Gurriel, because signing old veterans is not going to help. Even though Abreu's an okay first baseman. Well, that's pretty much it for my reports.
All right, Jason.
All right. Okay. Start the cam. There we go. All right, you wowzers out there. I must say, though, if Joey's team can win 2 more games, they actually would tie the Royals record for 8-23. You guys, between them and the Athletics, they haven't won 10 games yet. Everybody else has won over 10 games.
And that's who the A's actually face next. So after today, maybe.
But as far as my Mets are concerned here, oh my God. This week has been, I think Mother Nature really has hit a bomb in New York City as far as she's concerned. She dropped about 1,000 gallons of rain on Citi Field. They had the doubleheader with the Braves. And literally, you take one of those games out and you still get knocked by the the division leading rivals 2 out of 3.
It's on the rain that was falling.
Yeah, we blame it on the rain, Milli Vanilli. That's right. In this case, we should, for that matter.
Because the rain don't mind and the rain don't care.
Sitting at 16-16 at 505.5 back of those fathead Braves, and to lose 3 to a fake Detroit Tigers team that looks like they are playing. I don't know what's going on with the Detroit Tigers, man. Everybody's going to be saying, oh, well, we're just slumping. Slumping against who? You can't beat the teams in your own league, but you can go snap us in the National League and put us down to next to nothing. It's the same thing with the Mets. You can't go into an American League team and kick butt, especially a team that's under 500. It's one thing to lose to the Tigers. I mean, if we lost 3 to the A's like that, holy cow! I think I would have not shown up for the next 2 weeks.
Hey! Just because my team was bad doesn't mean I didn't want to show up for 2 weeks. Okay, we're not taking pot shots. I'm keeping my kneecaps this week. Okay,
I'm very thankful they ain't no Detroit Tigers fans on our podcast today. But I'm guarantee you somebody's going to come into the comments list if there was anybody commenting and say, "Well, what happened to your Mets, man? Gee whiz, I'll tell you what happened. We didn't show up. I don't know if it's the rain, if it's the traveling. It is the fact that, Scherzer's been out all this time. What's the excuse this time, guys? Are you going to blame yourselves? Are you going to blame Bucky? Buck Showalter? What's the deal here? Nobody gets any players of the week. You all did nothing but squeeze a donut out of the freaking dugout.
Your butt's in the jackpot.
That's my report for this week. Back to you.
All right, Eric. I
All right,
go to Shirley before Harry
it seems like the Astros, the A's, and the Mets have been having tough times. The Red Sox, however, we took over this past weekend. We took 2 out of 3 against Cleveland. Sox took 2 out of 3 against Cleveland, which is pretty good, and now we're on a 5-game. Red Sox are on a 5-game winning streak. We beat Cleveland. Sox beat Cleveland 2 out of 3, and then so far against Toronto, who usually has our number, especially last season. It has the Sox number since last season. But
we only won like 3 games versus them last year.
Yeah, they Toronto has been but now it's like the tables have turned already. The tables have turned already, and I'll tell you, and somebody like Connor Wong, cheapest man, hit 2 home runs. I'm like, if he's gonna go off in that, I think you give him an opportunity to play on a full-time basis, so to speak, and play healthy. Dude's gonna do something, and you're giving out. And Alex Verdugo, man, that I don't know, he is improving.
Gray hair.
He is improving. Alex Verdugo, let me tell you, he gets a blue hit we all thought was foul, and it ends up being fair, and we win the game. And then Doogie hits a game-winning home run. I mean, like, is he the new Ortiz for the team? I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. Alex Verdugo, when he comes up clutch. And then you got Masataka Yoshida. 13-game hitting streak. A dude hits 4 or 5 homers during that time. I'm like,
wow.
Man, I was like, so he's lived up to the hype. The Red Sox paid him $90 million for 5 years. Man knows that. I mean, he's really, Kiki Hernandez has been struggling a little bit because he's been bouncing from position to position.
Yeah.
And all that. Corey Kluber got his first win finally, so that's during that stretch. So that's good. Kenley Jansen, I know he had his back was hurting or something like that, but we didn't need him
for carrying that bullpen.
We didn't need him a couple of times because I think the bullpen's starting to step up a little bit. I'm starting to prove a little bit. I think everybody knows where they're going. And I know the pitching needs a little bit more work, but they've held it down to the point where they got a gritty defense. Jaron Duran got called back up, and in Manuel Valdez was called up, and
hit his first home run.
Huh?
He hit his first home run.
Yeah, Valdez. Hopefully they gave him the ball. Because indie fans out there disrespecting someone like Masataka Yoshida. If I caught his first home run ball and hey, can I meet him? I would offer you the ball. I want to meet Yoshida and take a picture with him.
And it'd be an awesome moment. That's why you gotta love.
Yeah.
Certain baseball players are fine.
Yeah.
But some of them are more private, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right? Yeah. You gotta respect that. I would first take a selfie with the ball, and then offer it, and then find somebody who is a part of the Red Sox. I would have said, "Hey, I got the ball. I'm offering. Can I meet Yoshida? I want to present the ball to him personally." That's what I would have done.
There you go.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
I would have met the guy. He said, "Here's your home run ball, sir." Instead of
being you guys got to play patty cake with the Yankees because right now the Yankees, can you believe it? And we haven't touched base on this. It's the first time I think the Yankees been in last place. Remember we were talking about this?
Yeah, we were talking about last week, and like I said,
last week.
Yeah, right now let's see. I'm checking the standings out. The Red Sox are 18-14.
8 games back.
8 games back, but and that we're in 4th place right now. We're tied with the Blue Jays for the most wins. We may have if the Red Sox beat Toronto tonight. Not only sweep Toronto, but then we have the same record. We'll probably tie for 3rd place.
Yeah.
And like I said, let's talk.
Let's see what happens.
I mean, I look at the AL East standings. I cannot believe it. Nobody's below 500. That's the first thing. Second thing is that look at the Orioles, 10 games over 500. That's a shocker. And then, of course, the Rays, 17-2 at home. Who the hell are they playing?
Well, they just beat the Pirates today by a 1-run score. It was 3-2, and they're 26-6.
Yeah,
the opposite of what the A's are right now.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a
anyways.
Score.
Yeah.
So Red Sox had 1-1 victories Monday, Tuesday. I
gotta tell you something about Monday with that walk-off home run by Dugout.
Yeah.
I went from being sad to happy because I just finished watching the Celtics lose game 1.
Yeah.
And then I turned the TV to Nelson, and then Verdugo has a walk-off home run.
Boston sports have been
sad to being happy.
Hold up. Boston sports have been through an up and down over the weekend. Bruins got wiped out in the playoffs, which I never thought that would happen. Then the Celtics lose game 1. They came back to win game 2 yesterday. Red Sox have been consistent. They beat. Let's see. They 2 out of 3 games. 2 out of 3 games. Like I said, they lost this past Friday. They lost to the Guardians. Saturday and Sunday over the weekend, they took 2 there. And Red Sox. So right now they have 5-game winning streak. They're playing Toronto at 6-10, and then tomorrow they're going to Philly for a 3-game series, and then to Atlanta for a 2-game series. And so we got Philly, a weekend series in Philly, 2 games against the Braves, and then coming back home on a homestand to Fenway, we got the Cardinals, and then the Mariners are coming in. So, and then we're going back out.
Eric, we gotta keep it, guys. Close eye on A Pistol with the Braves Red Sox. We gotta keep a close eye on him. With
Alex jinxed the Bruins. So we're not going to let we're not going to have him predict that the Red Sox are going to sweep the Braves. If that happens,
yeah.
Well, my concern is Boston. This is like the Yankees in 04, where they were up 3-1. It took 20 years for it to come back around.
Yeah.
So essentially, Boston sold its soul for the World Series.
The Yankees were up 3-0, not 3-1. The Yankees were up 3-0. Red Sox went 4.
That's the difference there.
You guys went 4-3. You won the last 4,
and plus,
plus
the Yankees also were 3 hours away with their best closer ever, Mariano Rivera. Like that's a huge difference.
Yeah, and then
3 hours away.
A smart move. Don't put Millar on base. Have him pinch run for Dave Roberts.
Well, that was the one thing that in a game of inches, the baseball gods gave the Red Sox one that night. That's what I'll say.
There you go.
Because in a game of inches, I wonder if Jason will get this one. I know this is a football one, but it's just like Vinny Testaverde's helmet says he was in the end zone.
In other words, he thought this helmet was a football.
It was what's his name? Phil Luckett.
Oh gosh,
Phil Luckett is the Angel Hernandez of baseball.
Yeah, we used to call Vinny Testaverde. We used to call him Vinny Testicle. You know.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Now we're
because he was so bad, it looked like his balls were.
Not to mention he was colorblind and he would throw interceptions.
That's right. Well, all he saw was green half the time. So what do you think, man?
I think David's sitting there just like, shut up. We're getting demonetized. Shut up.
Hey,
anyways, you can't even monetize.
This has to be every podcast would be rant and rave or everything. Every time I try to talk, somebody cuts me off, and then I lose my train of thought.
I'm sorry, Eric.
Go to Shkabush. Anyways, we got the Phillies, and we got the Braves for a 2-game series, and we're coming back to Fenway. We got the Cardinals for a 3-game, Mariners for a 3-game. We're going out west. The Sox are going out west. Old friend Don Orsillo and Xander Bogaerts at the Padres. And then we got the Angels back. And then another 3-game series with the Angels. And we got Sox got to deal with Ohtani and Trout. And then the Diamondbacks. So we're talking about a West Coast trip. So
there you go.
The Red Sox should have a decent trip, shouldn't they?
Yeah, you should come out of this pretty good.
Maybe.
What's your prediction on those games?
I think the Red Sox will probably be 500, play 500 ball because I know there's some great players, some tough. Because you never know, and I'm not going to predict, so to speak. I feel like I don't want to be like Stephen A. Smith here, where my man LeBron don't pass the ball to Mario Thomas. Anyways, but this hurts me to say this. But this is a very good question. I think the Red Sox are going to come down. It's okay. We're going to come. It's okay. Max Kellerman, don't not stop with me.
Love your impression there.
But my man, Red Sox player of the week is Connor Wong. My man hit 2 home runs in the game. But Masataka Yoshida, he knows how to hit the baseball. He knows how to whack the baseball. Keep him in the lineup, Alex Cora. Keep him in the lineup.
Maybe he needs to play whack-a-mole. He needs to play whack-a-mole, Ow, 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 ow. There you go.
He is a great pickup for the Red Sox, especially considering they've been dying to have a good cleanup hitter ever since after J.D. Martinez left and signed with the Dodgers, I think it was. That was a huge loss to their lineup, especially because he became more of a contact guy after he left when he was there, too.
Yeah.
And there's another thing, too. The Red Sox have been doing very well without Trevor Story in their lineup, without Adam Duvall in their lineup. I haven't heard much from Adam Duvall as of late. But they say no news is good news, but still, and for the Sox to do it, I think Jaron Duran and Manuel Valdez have been stepping up. I mean, Duran is a runner. I mean, he is lightning.
Yes, he is.
I nicknamed him Duran because I came up with some. I tweeted some Duran songs. There's some, is there something I should know? Got the reflex.
The reflex, flex.
And you got a view to a kill when it comes to hitting the baseball and all that. So, yeah, so Jaron Duran is one guy that another guy to look out for. He's been hitting the baseball too. Tristan Coss is starting to hit the baseball. Starting to hit the ball as well. I mean, like I said, they've been contact the ball, whacking the ball, and everything else. And like I said, if their pitching can really get going and be lights out, and especially the bullpen can be lights out, Red Sox have a pretty good chance of staying out of the color for once. We shall see. So we had Red Sox had Toronto had Red Sox number over the years, but now it seems like I don't know what is up with Toronto. Their pitching needs a little bit of help or what. I know they got the offense.
Who knows?
Between Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and I really don't know. So I don't really know what changed the Jays' fortunes, but I changed everything around.
They're so good.
But like I said, Red Sox are doing well. 5-game winning streak. Let's keep going. Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. Go Sox. So that's my report on the Red Sox. Boston Red Sox. Hope they do well. Speaking of which, I gotta find out when they
All right, Joey. I'll do your leftovers.
Okay. So the A's made some major moves recently, actually, since the 29th. Today is now the 4th. The A's have messed with their roster.
May the 4th be with you.
Yes, may the 4th be with you. So they called up, since the last show, because I didn't really go over that, the A's got Sammy Long, who just pitched in today's game from the Giants for cash, because the A's aren't strapped for that, from the Giants. And then they got Martinez going on the 15-day IL with a bad elbow. Garcia got sent down after being DFA'd. April 25th, Luis Medina, another top pitching prospect, called up from Las Vegas, gets hammered for 8 runs, 7 earned, 2 home runs. In his first major league start, Caprillion got brought down. And 2 days later, they did send Medina back down. They got Acevedo back from the injury report on the 27th. Rusnitsky was activated from the 15-day IL, and he's done nothing of note since he's been brought back, as they sent Chad Smith down. They got Laureano back on the 29th after a 10-day IL stint, and they designated Tyler Wade for assignment. Something else, Aledmus Diaz, the A's highest-paid player on the team right now, is on the 10-day IL while hitting 150. They got Nick Allen up from Las Vegas on the 2nd. They sent Connor Capel down because he has stopped hitting as well, and he got sent down. J.J. Bleday, who's 1 for 5 now on the season after the home run earlier today. But the biggest one today was the A's have called up Rico Garcia, Spencer Patton, the ex-Ranger and Oriole, who pitched over in Japan for the Yokohama Bay Stars, and right-hander Austin Pruitt. Sending down Adam Aller, who gave up the 7 runs last night in last night's previous known shutout, then blowout, and Domingo Acevedo and old friend of the Mets, Jerry's Familiar, were both DFA'd today. Major shakeup in Oaktown. It's too bad the bullpen's still going to suffer. Yeah, no, I'm not ranting and or raving anymore. I think I finally got that rage out of me. I'll save that for Eric when he's when it's his for his next podcast. Got a whole lot of rage right in here. Right up here.
A little granger.
Oh man.
Alrighty. Well, that's gonna be it here for this episode. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to hit the button, David.
Yes.
Hit the button.
Yeah, I got him again.
Yes.
Night, guys.
I'm gonna hit the button. I'm gonna hit the button. hit the button. Don't forget to subscribe to the David3000 Network for great more content like this one.